All right. Shalom. First off, I'd like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to our apostles and our elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And I'd like to give salutations to the elect and to the brothers that's teaching across the four corners, that's scattered abroad, that's teaching the truth and sincerity, that's teaching this doctrine sincerely and correctly. And, just coming again with another quick hit. And this is basically going into our whole principle. What we supposed to be doing in this truth is you're supposed to be seeking out this wisdom, seeking out the wisdom of the Lord. Basically trying to consume this robe and gaining this knowledge. The elect has to be sealed, so the elect has to receive the knowledge of these scriptures before this place could be destroyed, before the angels could put your hands on this place, and before all hell breaks loose. And we pretty much at that time right now where the elect is being sealed. So to you brothers that's just coming into this, hopefully this is edifying to you, because this is basically for you. This is Proverbs chapter 4, and I'm going to start off at verse 7. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom." So wisdom is the principal thing. You're supposed to be trying to get built up on these milk scriptures. Basically, when you first come into the truth, you have to learn that you're an Israelite, learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, and then basically get built up on these milk scriptures to where you can receive meat, to where you can receive prophecy, or to where you can edify another brother. But first you have to know you an Israelite first. You have to be able to go into these scriptures to show somebody that they an Israelite. And then the next part is then maybe you moving into prophecy, if that be your lot, because everybody's not a prophet. But it says wisdom is the principal thing, which one of the main things, the highest things, is wisdom. Getting wisdom, man. That's what you're supposed to be doing with your life right about now. Is receiving the knowledge and the understanding of the Lord, who Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. So it's nothing if you come into this thing and you find out you an Israelite. Okay, that's wisdom. But with wisdom, you have to get understanding. It's not just enough to know you an Israelite. You have to actually understand what you're reading and be able to dissect doctrine and prove doctrine. That's you getting understanding. You know you're an Israelite, but you still celebrating, you still doing the Sabbath on Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's showing you don't have any understanding. You being an Israelite and you still out here smoking weed and shit like that, or being malicious in its truth, that's showing you don't have understanding. People don't understand that the mark of the beast, according to Revelation 13 and chapter 16, is the RFID chip. So they're getting wisdom, but they're not getting understanding. So with all your wisdom, you're supposed to be getting understanding. You reading, but do you understand what you're reading? This is the next one I'm going to is Proverbs chapter 1. And it's going to be from verse 1. And I'm going to go to verse 8. It says, "To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding." So to know wisdom and instruction, and to perceive the words of understanding. So that's basically these breakdowns and these milk scriptures, even some of these meat scriptures. Basically, you getting into that, you getting understanding of that. Of course, it's not going to come overnight. It's going to come with diligence, fasting, praying, and edification. You being edified. You watching videos or you hooking up with one of the brothers and you learning doctrine. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. Right? Because it's not just regular wisdom in here. It's justice and judgment. Justice basically being okay, somebody being paid back for what they did, or when you break a law or you do somebody wrong, justice is the equal or the balance to that. And it says judgment and equity. And judgment is also in these scriptures. So you get an understanding of all these things. Righteous judgment, what righteous judgment is not just going off your own mind. Righteous judgment will be going off these scriptures. What does the scripture say? That's righteous judgment. You can't just judge off your own heart. You have to judge off of what the scriptures say. So that's righteous judgment. It says to give stability to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. So this book, in the world you have books like 48 Laws of Power and Art of War and shit like that. But this is a whole new book of stability and knowledge and discretion. It says to give stability to the simple, the young man, knowledge and discretion. So it's telling you how to move, how to navigate yourself through different situations or encounterments that you might have being in this truth or in your everyday life. When it comes to dealing with females, righteous judgments or calls on different situations, or even just in your household. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall obtain unto wise counsels. So a wise man will hear these things or read these scriptures and will soak all this up and apply this in his life. And it says, a man of understanding shall attain unto the wise counsels. And the wise counsels, like I said, will be the men of the Lord, from our elders and apostles on down to from GMS all the way to the brothers you see on the streets. Those wise counsels, because we already know that the knowledge of this world is foolishness. So that's not a wise counsel. A wise counsel wouldn't be a librarian or your math teacher. That's not a wise counsel. The wise counsel will be the men of the Lord, or the prophets. It says to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So the interpretation of a thing, when we breaking down these scriptures, what people love to say, we taking out of context, or saying that it don't say that in there, we pulling shit out our ass. Breaking down these interpretations, how you have to go into the Hebrew, the Greek, the Latin. It says the words of the wise and their dark sayings. And those dark sayings, some of those dark sayings are like the chariots. When you read in the scriptures, it just don't say a flying saucer. They don't use today's terminology. Even they don't say missiles. It's using similitudes. That's what, or it's comparing it to something else. Back then it wasn't a such thing as a missile. It wasn't called no missile. So we basically break it down those dark sayings, and to understand those dark sayings. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, when fools despise wisdom and instruction. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You humbling yourself and you honestly seeking out the truth. It says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. These people don't want to be corrected. They think they know it all already. They think Pastor Porkchop know it all. Reverend No Good know it all. But fools despise. They don't want to hear that you can't be a homosexual. They don't want to hear that you can't sleep with another man's wife, or you gotta quit smoking weed. You can't hang with them niggas. They don't want to hear that. Niggas buck up to that. It says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. It says, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. So you're supposed to be trying to attain this truth. Basically, your everyday life, this truth got to come first. Everything else is secondary. This has to be primary. You get an understanding of these scriptures. You basically consuming this roll, taking it all in and understanding. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. And Ecclesiastes 12 and 1 reads, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. So it tells you to remember your Creator in the day of your youth, before the destruction comes when you're still a young man. The Lord ain't looking for no old washed up niggas to do his work. He looking for young men that's still fresh. When you drafting people in the army not looking for no 50-year-old niggas to goddamn join the army. They look for young men straight out of high school, out of college to do the work. It's the same thing with the Lord. He not looking for no old washed up niggas that's already set in their ways, that's lazy, and that can't take correction. So it says, remember the Lord the day of your youth, to get this wisdom. That's why I said principle is a principal thing. I'm going to get Sirach chapter 11 verse 4. Sirach 11:4 reads, it says, Salakia, 11:1. It says, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. So you could be an average Joe out here, and because the Lord dealing with you, because the Lord gave you his words and the understanding of his scriptures, you could become from a low man, a nobody in these streets, to you having this wisdom. And now the Lord basically set you up. He brought you up to be somebody. Now you a prophet. You went from being a nobody or just a nigga in this world to basically the Lord gave you he gave you a position. That's better than being a cop, than being a lawyer, because the Lord dealing with you directly. You ain't dealing with no regular man. The Lord dealing with you. So that's better. That's why it says wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. You sit amongst men that's written in these scriptures. And then I'm gonna go over to go back a couple chapters to chapter 6. And I'm gonna start at chapter 6 from verse 18. It says, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thy old age. So you gotta start this thing when you're young. That's why I said it's very seldom that you have very few old heads or old skins that's gonna receive this. And that's why I said they already set in their ways. They already think they know it all. So it says, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so thou shalt find wisdom to thy old age. You gotta start off young with this. You gotta start seeking this wisdom early, because it's not just gonna fall in your lap. This is something that you have to collectively over the years acquire. Over the years, you have to diligently search out these scriptures, learn these different languages, get into etymology, and get built up in this. You have to get built up in faith. You gotta get built up in doing the works. That takes time. You ain't gonna learn all these precepts overnight. You ain't gonna learn every precept in this book in 1 year. It takes time. It takes diligence and effort. And I'm gonna keep going. It says, coming to her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much and labor about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. And it's unpleasant to the unlearned when we come out telling them, like I said, when we tell them that Jesus ain't a white boy, his name ain't Jesus, and stuff like that. That's things that they can't understand. They think we talking ill about these scriptures when we really going deeper into it. But to the unlearned, it sounds like we spitting out madness. It says, she will lie upon him. It says she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and will cast her from her error to be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifesting to wisdom. So the truth of these scriptures, the truth of the whole matter, many people not gonna run into this. You have a very small remnant that's getting woke up in these last days. Everybody not gonna come into this. Your grandma, your old ass granddaddy, they all not gonna get this. If the Lord ain't set you up to understand this, it's not gonna happen. And the last scripture I'm gonna pull out for this topic is 2 Timothy, and that's chapter 2, verse 15. And even the babies in the truth should know this one. This is and it reads, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." So it says you have to study to show yourself approved. Not that you have to go to theological college or no stuff like that, or you gotta go ask your pastor what this means. It says study to show yourself approved. That's why I say you have to go into these different languages. You have to go into history. You have to go into politics to understand all this, because it all ties in. You have to be well-rounded in all different areas, and that's where it says study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You got rightly do this. You gotta go all the way into it. If you're gonna do it, do it. But your churches ain't doing that. They not rightly dividing the word of truth. You can't even ask them a fucking question during their sermon. They're gonna tell you to pass around the plate and shut the fuck up. It says, "But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase into more ungodliness." But yeah, I just wanted to go into that real quick. That wisdom is the principal thing. Right now, man, it's time to get this. You ain't gonna have the internet forever. You're not gonna have the men of the Lord out on the highways and byways teaching you forever. So if you're gonna get this, you gotta get it now. Be searching out, seeking out, trying to work out your own salvation, man. Can't nobody else save you. Your mama can't save you. Your daddy can't save you. And with that being said, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And salutations to the Akim teaching the truth and sincerity. Shalom.